Hey guys, so for my topic, I explored depression and anxiety amongst adolescents in the COVID 19 pandemic. So, this is just a refresher on the definition of mental health according to the World Health Organization, the WHO. So, according to the United Nations, the pandemic has resulted in an increase of depressive and anxiety symptoms across the globe. And upon conducting an extensive literature review, three factors have been found to contribute to the increase of depression and anxiety in adolescents specifically. The first is developmental characteristics. So, adolescence is a time period of transition and maturation, and in this time period, autonomy and peer connection are desired by adolescents, which is obviously hindered due to our current situation. In a study completed by Ellis and colleagues, it was found that isolation impacted socialization, increasing depression, loneliness, and anxiety in 1,000 Canadian adolescent high school students. The second factor is COVID 19 stresses. So, adolescents are also at an age where they face similar stresses to adults, such as fear of infection, stress on the uncertainty of the future, and economic instability. In a survey completed by Statistics Canada this year, the mental health of Canadians has decreased in comparison to a study completed in 2018. The third is isolation, from unprecedented changes, the lockdown, and public health guidelines, which have increased isolation and decreased socialization, ultimately impacting the mental health of adolescents. So, the Ontario Centre of Excellence for Child and Youth Mental Health has found that the disrupted structure worsened depressive symptoms and anxieties, and that the isolation and unprecedented changes and interruptions to daily lives and routines may be precipitants of mental illnesses. So, gaps were also found in the literature. The first gap would be the lack of research because of the COVID 19 still occurring. So, long term mental health effects of adolescents are unknown. Second gap in literature would be the vulnerable population and its lack of research in this group. The third would be the lack of research on adolescents in marginalized communities. So, current research completed, the sample sizes are primarily adolescents who have access to resources, but it's important to note that there are differing social determinants of health that impact one's abilities to receive resources. So, Statistics Canada has also found protective and risk factors for depression and anxiety in Canadian adolescents. So, for my intervention, I decided to do a social media campaign and a social media program. So, the proposed intervention will be a social media campaign taking an upstream and primary intervention approach and a mental health program on social media led by public health nurses and volunteers. So, the social media based intervention will be fit for adolescents because nearly 100% of them are on the internet daily. It's important to note that less than 20% of adolescents with mental illnesses reach out for help, outlining the need for public health to intervene and promote mental health in this specific age group. So, the goals of this social media campaign will be to destigmatize mental illnesses and to encourage adolescents to get help if needed. And the conjoined program will be to help adolescents develop and maintain good mental health with healthy coping strategies. It'll also teach adolescents emotional regulation, anxiety management, and problem solving. So, I use the health belief model. So, through this intervention, the goal is to bring awareness of mental health, its consequences, and importance and benefits of maintaining good mental health and receiving help. It aims to trigger an adolescent's decision making process, um, to confidently welcome and accept a health action. In this case, to maintain good mental health and to know when and how to receive help. And a best practice guideline is also reviewed as the foundation of this intervention. So the social media campaign will be called Dear Self and feature young adults reading letters or giving advice to their past selves regarding mental health. And the program, on the other hand, will be a social media account on multiple platforms to deliver the social media campaign with trained volunteers. They will conduct focus groups and provide speakers on mental health topics, focus on skill building, empowerment, and self efficacy and resilience. It also provides resources to develop and maintain mental health coping strategies. So, funding will be a challenge as it will need multiple people to create and deliver the intervention. And funding will be done and completed through funding allocations, grants, and partnerships. And there's a little fact about mental health funding and the Canadian government. And that is all for my presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed. I recorded it because I wanted to make sure I was in the 5-minute mark, but let me know if you guys have any questions after. Thanks. Bye.